local people, important issues. CBS 10 WILM's weekly focus on the Lower Cape Fear region. This is Byline Wilmington with your host, Don Ansell.
Ben and John David are brothers. They're also both elected district attorneys in adjacent districts in southeastern North Carolina, and they are also twins. We're talking to both of them this morning about their lives, their careers, and what this all means to southeastern North Carolina. John David is on my left, Ben David is on my right. Both of them, John was elected to his first term as district attorney in the 13th district, and Ben was just re-elected to the 5th district as district attorney. And thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And if you didn't have different colored ties on, I'd be in trouble. So election night this past November had to be quite a night for your combined families. Ben, you ran for re-election unopposed as district attorney in New Hanover and Pender Counties, and John, you won your first election as district attorney in the 13th district as Brunswick, Bladen, and Columbus counties. So what was that like that night?
Well, it's better to be Ben, I guess, because when you run unopposed, you just have to vote for yourself, and victory is almost assured. For me, though, it was a watershed night, not only in the history of our family, but also, I think, in this area. It's just so exciting to be a change agent and somebody that's really going to bring, hopefully, a lot of good to this area. I'm absolutely committed to ushering in a new era of a victim-based philosophy and working closely with law enforcement. I'm just excited to do it with my brother.
Yeah. So your election was kind of foregone conclusion.
I told John it's easier to win when you're unopposed. But no, I was very proud of my brother, first of all. I mean, he's not only one of the best prosecutors in this state.
Who worked in your office?
For 10 years. But he's just a great man. And I don't say that because we look like each other or anything like that. I've seen this guy for now 41 years.
Let me just interrupt and say that when we were off camera, John said to me, the worst thing about the election was Ben lost his best employee. Which was so go ahead,
well, you know, I reminded him that the Edmonton Oilers won the Stanley Cup the year after Gretzky left, so we'll be all right there. But I think what's really important to remember here is that this is not about us. I mean, I know people want to make this more about individuals involved, but John and I see this as a larger opportunity to help everybody in this area, and we're going to do that as gracefully as we can, upholding the Constitution. That's our obligation.
I know, but there is an interesting dynamic that you have. Do you know in any other time in history, you must have looked, Googled it, searched it somehow, that there was ever twins serving at the exact same time in adjacent districts as district attorneys?
We're unaware of that, Don. You know, there's some twins, identical twins brothers who are serving together as judges in the Raleigh area. But as far as district attorneys is concerned, I think this is something new. We're living a dream right now. You know, we played cops and robbers as children together, and now we're doing it in a whole different way, and it's really an exciting time. Yeah, we're absolutely loving it.
I guess all your lives people say, well, what's it like to grow up as a twin? Let me put another spin on it. Did you ever wonder what it would be like not to grow up as a twin? Did that ever?
That's a great question, Don, because people do ask us that.
Yeah.
They say, we have no idea what it's like any other way.
Right.
But I'm John's biggest fan, always have been. And
well, you're his younger brother,
and he never lets me forget it.
Ben is my baby brother.
By how long?
I'm 3 minutes older.
Okay.
Yes, I was the unplanned child, as John brings up. We didn't know they were having twins till I came out second.
Are you
serious?
serious?
That's a true story. So this has been a great experiment for our family for a lot of years now.
So to you, it was an advantage? I mean, I know you don't know any other way, but you have to have, fantasized about. To you, it was an advantage growing up as a twin, or was it? Do you see it like that?
Well, we certainly know what it's like when we're alone. It's certainly an attention getter. It's a foot in the door, if you will, when you have someone that looks exactly like you standing next to you. People are automatically drawn to you and they want to know more. And so, to that extent, we're not only, colleagues now, we're best friends too. And so it's just neat to be able to grow up with somebody that's going through the same types of things that you are during the same periods of life. And throughout the course of someone's life, you have different friends kind of come in and out, and we've been the one constant in each other's life for 41 years now.
And the other thing about that is, Don, we did spend about 15 years apart. A lot of people don't realize that. After we graduated from high school,
we went off to different colleges and law schools and started our own careers separately. We only joined forces again when we were 30 years old. So really from that time that we graduated high school till about the time we were 31, we were pretty much our own guys. So we know what it's like to be individuals too.
So you went to different universities?
We did.
By intention, obviously.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we thought it was really important to establish our own identities.
Yeah.
I mean, being a twin, it's something you can turn on and off. And we recognized coming out of high school that it was really important for both of us to kind of establish our own identities and chart our own course. And it was a lot of fun when we got to be age 30 to be able to come back together and sort of draw from the individual experiences that we had, but have this joint vision moving forward of how we wanted to be in the world and what we wanted to do in our community. And
It's
this is
interesting
a real opportunity now.
that you both chose the same careers.
Yeah.
Well, Don, it wasn't always that way. I had decided fairly early on in college that I wanted to be a lawyer, and I was going to law school. At that time, Ben actually was going to be Dr. Ben David. He wanted to be in the medical field.
That's true.
And I think it was about his senior year of college that he decided to sort of change over and said, you know what, I'm good at talking to people. Maybe I'll be a lawyer instead.
I had taken organic chemistry and engineering, calculus, all the stuff you have to take, and John talked me into going to law school at the last second, and I wish he had told me this like sophomore year, because I wouldn't have had to take all those classes.
Your brother influenced
there's
you.
no question. Yeah, he did, and it was. I still appreciate what he said. He said, I wanted to be a doctor to help people, and John wanted to go into the law to help people, and he said, I think, Ben, you have an opportunity to reach a lot of people with what we can do as this, and he's been right about that. I mean, I have some great friends who are doctors. Our mom has a doctorate in medical anthropology, and we know a lot of people in the medical field and think they do great work. This is a whole different way of trying to reach as many people as possible and help them, and we, as John said, have dream jobs. We absolutely love what we do.
Is there any amount of or an ingredient of competitiveness in the relationship?
We get asked that a lot. I really don't think so. We both have the opportunities to be able to accomplish so much in our own individual lives where, I don't have to feel taller by standing on Ben, and I don't think he feels any differently than that. There's really enough out there for both of us to have our moment in the sun, and we haven't really felt competitive for years with each other.
Because you worked for your younger brother by 3 minutes. For how many years?
Well, we worked in the same office for 10 years, and it's important for people to know, because I don't think they realize this. Ben didn't actually hire me.
John Carricker hired.
John Carricker hired both of us, and
former district attorney before Ben.
That's right.
Right, and it was about 3 or 4 years after coming up here from Miami that John Carricker retired. I was living in Brunswick County at the time, so I couldn't run to be district attorney if I'd wanted to. Ben ran within the office to be the DA and got that job, and he didn't fire me, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
But he never hired me, though.
And that's the thing. I mean, to the outside world, maybe you would see there's a difference there. I mean, John and I have always been great friends, and we respect each other as equals and colleagues. And what's very nice and freeing about this election is now John is regarded as an elected DA. Because he's definitely someone who brings so much to the table with this job, and I say that not as his brother, but as a fellow elected DA, because there's only 44 of us in the state, and I couldn't think of a better person to work across the bridge from than my brother, and I say that as a professional, not as a David.
We're going to take not as a David. We're going to take a break. We come back. We'll talk about how different are they really, and who are some of the people that they most admire. Stay with us.